Hello everyone, Liam here from Gaming on Linux. Today is a absolutely massive day as Valve sent over a Steam Deck and now it's released. I can actually show it to you. I'm super excited. Big thank you to Valve for this. We have never done anything like this. We're going to turn it on first. It takes about 30 seconds or so. And to note, this is the middle model. It does not have the anti-glare screen of the top end, so you're going to see a bit of me in the camera inside it, but it's a bit of an honest look at what kind of reflection level you might see in your own home perhaps. While it's loading, to be clear, this is a Linux-powered handheld. It's why it's so massively exciting for us. Valve took Arch Linux, turned it into SteamOS 3 with their new deck interface, plus it has a KDE Plasma desktop mode too that you can switch to for installing third-party applications like Discord and other stores. Something quite exciting about it is Proton, a compatibility layer that runs Windows games. So I'm going to demonstrate here with World War Z. And to be clear, this is a game that was never designed for Linux or the Steam Deck, and yet it runs great. What you can see there in the top left corner is the performance overlay. You're going to be able to get a readout of GPU, CPU use, battery life, frames per second, and more. And we'll let that load for a minute and then jump into a quick single player game as a test. I'll be exploring a lot more in future videos though, with some recording directly from the deck, but for this one, just wanted to give you a brief showing of the actual unit in action so we can have a chat about it. You'll be able to see a lot more thoughts on the gamingonlinux.com website, a link will be in the description. Now, I'll mention the size for a moment as there's no getting around the deck is huge. Compared with the Switch, it's massive. Here's the thing though, I have the smallest hands of any adult I've ever met. And I have no problem with it at all. I can reach everything. Checking out the performance menu, there is a few levels of overlay that you can use, like the top level that gives you a pretty full readout, like per core levels. Look at that, it's crazy. But it's a bit too much, so what I usually do is just pop it back to level 1 to keep an eye on it. But really, when you're actually gaming, you don't need it on. You just want it out of the way. But it's really useful to see what kind of results you're seeing from it. Now, as a reminder, this game was not designed for Linux or the Steam Deck. You'll find a lot of games run amazingly well, even though they haven't been verified by Valve in any way. Deck Verified is going to be an ongoing, ever-evolving thing. I've got this locked to 60 frames a second, and you're not going to want it going higher than that as it will suck your battery dry. You don't really need it to go any higher than that on this device ever. Realistically though, you want about 30 frames a second for pretty much any modern game, as the battery does not last long. Unless you do some tweaking, there are plenty of options there to adjust, because the Steam Deck has the full VAT version of all games. Playing this game, World War Z, for example, at medium settings at 60 frames a second, will get you usually less than 2 hours of playtime. For me, really, I just cannot get over that this is a Linux handheld. Valve has just done some absolutely serious magic to get everything working as well as it does. I'm really hoping that over time, more developers will tweak their games for the Steam Deck. We've already seen hundreds go through verification, along with quite a few now adding in some sane defaults for things like graphic levels and updating their interfaces to make sure that the text actually looks good. And that is going to be one of the biggest problems right now is the text. There's quite a few games I've tested where you can just barely read what is on the screen. Hopefully this will make more developers take action on that because a lot of games, even on PC normally, have too small text. For things like that and gamepad support, the Steam Deck is going to be an absolute revolution. Now what I'm going to do is show you the Suspend Mode, which is ridiculously impressive. So all you do is quick tap. Tap it again, and then within absolute seconds you are back in action. I can't believe how smooth it is. That's all for now. We will be back again soon. Thank you very much for watching.